For the first time in 40 years, a Japanese prime minister has arrived in Tehran to meet with Iranian officials. So Prime Minister Abe is using the trip to warn both the United States and Iran to cool their heels before the situation gets out of control, not just between the two countries, but especially with what's going on with the fighting in Yemen as well, where Iran is on one side, Saudis are on the other, U.S. is on the other. It's a story that bears covering. Meanwhile, there's something else that's going on in the region. So Syria, we got this information late last night and have been following up on it. Syria is confirming that last night it had to shoot down a number of Israeli missiles to stop attacks that were incoming. By the way, I want to show you something. Take a look at this map that we put together for you, and we did it right there geographically. There have been 6 major incidents between Israel and Syria in the last 3 months. April 13th, Syria intercepts an Israeli strike in Hama. June 3rd, Israel bombs an Iranian base in Homs. May 17th, Syria intercepts an Israeli strike on Damascus. May 28th and June 2nd, Israel hits targets in Quneitra. June 12th, Syria intercepts an Israeli attack. Joining us now is former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. Few people know more about this area than the gentleman you're about to hear from here. Is this thing escalating? And if so, to what end?
Yeah, it's definitely escalating. That's why you're seeing someone like Prime Minister Abe of Japan rushing there, because there is a crescendo building. And you're seeing the fact that separately of all this, Trump is pushing $8 billion to the Saudis. And what I'm really concerned about is that those arms, $8 billion in arms, going to the Saudis at a time that we're escalating with Iran, even though he's saying, yeah, I want to have a talk without conditions. Well, that doesn't fit into the mantra and message of John Bolton.
Help me.
Or Netanyahu of Israel.
Help me as an American understand something, because I don't get this thing where I just chalked off 6 or 7 different attacks where Israel is attacking Syria. Yeah. Syria is using an anti-missile defense system. Yeah. And this keeps happening like a couple of times a month. Anywhere else in the world, if somebody's attacking somebody, you're in full-out war. What do you call this?
Well, it is aggression, and it's against all UN resolutions. And what the Israelis claim is that they're trying to hit Iranian targets. The reality is they're killing Syrian military right now. And what's really disturbing is that those sites that you talk about, there could be at those military facilities the presence of Russian troops. And if they get killed, that's a problem. And the Russians are, frankly, their general staff is getting fed up with it.
That's what's so complicated about something like this. I mean, you just mentioned that essentially Iran is in Syria. Yeah. Israel is attacking Syria, but they're using the pretense of they're really attacking Iran.
And Hezbollah targets as well.
And Hezbollah, which is a part of Lebanon?
Yes, it's part of Lebanon, but they have forces inside of Syria. But they have facilities for supplies and what have you, and that's what the Israelis are trying to hit. They're really trying to send a message, and at the same time trying to minimize that. But what's going to happen is that there could be repercussions as a result.
And then, as you mentioned, Russia and the United States are also involved, and obviously the Saudis are involved because somehow you mix in with the situation in Yemen. Yeah. How close are we to having this turn into a full-edged conflagration of some sort?
Well, any spark could cause it. I think.
So it cause what? Cause what?
It could cause just one episode could create a havoc throughout the entire region.
So in other words, Israel attacks Syria. Yeah. The missile is not stopped with using the anti-ballistic missile defense system or whatever the heck it's called, and it hits and kills a whole bunch of people. Yeah. Syria says we're not going to have this. They attack back.
They've been showing restraint. In fact, they could have done it. In fact, they were asked not to retaliate.
So okay, let's continue the scenario. Israel attacks. Syria attacks back. Iran fights on the side of Syria. Who helps? The United States fights on the side of Israel. Yeah. Russia gets on the side of Syria and Iran as well.
Correct.
That's the fear.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yeah. It's a powder keg ready to blow up at any time.
What's keeping it from blowing up?
People like Abe and others who are trying to talk to leadership in Iran to calm things down, trying to talk to Trump to go and negotiate. But John Bolton and Pompeo are not getting that message. They're the ones who are orchestrating this thing. They're the ones who are working behind the scenes, trying to get everything lined up. And what I'm really concerned about is that they're going to paint Trump into a corner he won't be able to get out.
Sounds like a familiar narrative.
Yes.
And
it happened before in 2003.
We thank you.
Pleasure.
I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.